Look at this giant guy frantically devouring a cold piece of pepperoni pizza as if his life depends on it. He ignores the warnings from the people above him. This is a massive vertical prison. A platform full of food descends every day. The rule is simple. You only eat the dish you ordered. But rules are meant to be broken. The guy's name is Zamyatin. He ordered pizza. His cellmate Perempuan ordered a meat patty. The guys on level 21 are screaming at them. They are the loyalists trying to keep the order. Zamyatin doesn't care. He eats a chicken wing that isn't his. This tiny action will trigger a bloody chain of events. Let's rewind a bit. Before entering this concrete hell, everyone had an interview. They were asked what their favorite food was. Zamyatin picked pizza. A crazy old lady chose a fancy cake. They also got to bring one item. Some brought weapons. Some brought pets. Perempuan brought a lighter. She wanted time to forget her past. Zamyatin ended up here because he tried to burn down his parents' house. He has serious anger issues. Now back in the pit. The loyalists above warn Zamyatin. They say eating someone else's food will cause a disaster. Zamyatin simply rolls his eyes. He shoves the food into his mouth. He calls the loyalists barbarians. Perempuan watches him in silence. She knows the pit changes people. The platform descends further. The environment is brutal. We see another pair, Trimalchio and Miharu. Trimalchio is losing his mind. He screams for his pizza. His cellmate Imaguri tells him to shut up. He flicks his lighter. He stares at the tiny flame. Above them, a brutal fight breaks out. The platform drops down violently. It is covered in blood, shattered plates, and mangled bodies. Someone falls from the ceiling, engulfed in flames. The impact is horrifying. Imaguri frantically pushes the corpses and food scraps into the dark abyss. They have to clean the platform, somewhere else. Glenn is severely beaten. He gasps for air. A fat man named Ivan mocks him. Ivan asks if he wants a pizza. Glenn explains that freedom doesn't mean eating whatever you want. He tells the legend of the master. The master survived a month without food. He cut flesh from his own thigh to feed the starving. He spread a message of solidarity. But in this pit, solidarity is a rare commodity. A young man named Robespierre tries to enforce the law with an iron fist. He believes in fair distribution. Zamyatin complains about being hungry. The alarm blares. The room turns bloody red. Robespierre considers extreme measures. He refuses to eat human flesh. He insists that the law forbids cannibalism. He throws leftover food into the pit. He brutally beats a tied-up man who broke the rules. Zamyatin just keeps chewing his pizza. The contrast is chilling. Time passes in this nightmare. Zamyatin shaves his head. He rubs grease on his face. He looks like a monster. He explains his past to Perempuan. He used to be a mathematician. He gave his life to pure math, but imaginary numbers broke his sanity. He couldn't trust anything anymore. He abandoned his family. Perempuan listens quietly. She admits she needs time to forgive herself. Suddenly, a loud cheer erupts. The food has reached level 175. It is a miracle. Perempuan is oddly excited. She pulls Zamyatin up. She wants to dance. They waltz awkwardly in the red light. The inmates above chant the numbers, but the joy is short. They wake up on level 180. The food never reaches them. Zamyatin breaks down crying. The people above mock them. They throw scraps and insults. Zamyatin loses his grip on reality. He hallucinates about Robespierre's gang. He screams about love and determination. In another layer, Miharu and Trimalchio discuss the harsh reality. Trimalchio says the law is for everyone, but people are dying. He starts speaking in a prophetic tone. He claims they are the chosen ones. He plays with his lighter. The flame reflects in his wild eyes. He hallucinates. A black smoke pours out of his mouth. He claims justice has arrived. He tells Miharu to stay dirty. Then he collapses on the bed. He coughs violently. Blood covers his chest. He dies a slow death. Miharu washes a rag in the sink. She stares at his lifeless body. Down on level 24. A young woman with bangs and an older woman watch the platform. The older woman warns against breaking the rules, but the younger one is full of hatred. She wants to catch a barbarian who ate too much. A violent clash ensues. They arm themselves with metal pipes. They beat the rule breakers without mercy. The platform is stained with fresh blood. They decide to ride the platform down. They want to enforce the law themselves. The violence escalates. A blind man named Dagon Bobby appears. He is a ruthless enforcer. He wears a white cloth over his empty eye sockets. He surrounds himself with loyal thugs. He commands absolute obedience. He punishes a blonde inmate for failing to stop the rule breakers. He orders his men to cut off the inmate's arm. The screams echo in the concrete walls. Dagon Bobby preys on fear. He believes terror is the only way to maintain order. He sits with a young man who has Down syndrome. He gently strokes the boy's head. Meanwhile, his thugs brutally torture the disobedient. Women are hoisted upside down. Blood drips onto the remaining food. It is a grotesque spectacle, but a rebellion is brewing. A bearded man rallies the barbarians. They are tired of the loyalists' oppression. They shout for freedom. The room turns red again. A chaotic melee erupts. Zamiatin joins the fray. He smashes plates. He laughs like a maniac. People fight over scraps of meat. They dance and brawl in a bizarre celebration. An old woman proudly shows off a painting. It is a dark piece depicting a monster devouring its child. It perfectly mirrors their reality. The final battle is imminent. Nina, a fierce fighter, prepares her weapons. A massive mattress drops from the ceiling. It crushes several inmates. The barbarians charge. The loyalists fight back. Blood splatters across the gray walls. Nina chokes an enemy. An old man stabs people with a sharp metal shard. The violence is raw and unfiltered. Nina is pinned down. A massive man strangles her. She gasps for air. She reaches for a blade. With a desperate strike, she slashes his throat. Blood fountains over her face. She survives. In the aftermath, Estrella searches the bodies. She finds a map. She wants to escape. She plans to inhale the knockout gas used by the administration. She hopes to fake her death. Teresa has a different plan. She finds a young boy. She tells him to remember everything. She leads him out of the darkness. The boy is put into a zero-gravity chamber. He floats amidst green lights and floating debris. He is sent up the tube. The administration forces arrive in tactical gear. They wear night vision goggles. They drag bodies away. The female protagonist is dragged through the green-lit corridors. She hallucinates. She sees the boy floating in the void. She reaches out to him. Her heart beats heavily. Then the scene shifts. She wakes up in a sterile hospital room. Her face is scarred. In the very end, she finds herself back in the abyss. The platform is empty. She holds the unconscious boy tightly. The platform drops into the void. Surrounding inmates try to snatch the boy. She fights them off. She refuses to abandon him. The platform reaches the absolute bottom. She steps off. She meets Glenn in the darkness. His face is battered. They look at each other. They embrace deeply. The boy is the message. The message has been delivered. Their journey ends here.